Hey, howdy, hey, and welcome back to another episode of Avilla Theory. We're still working through our series on real estate. We're kind of bouncing around the different series, but we're going to have a lot of episodes, maybe a lot, I don't know. We're going to have some episodes where we talk about real estate because it's one of our hobbies. And so in today's episode, we're going to focus on our short-term vacation rental property and tell you a story about that. But we also have a few other just like quick updates. So I'm sitting here once again with the beautiful, the lovely Mrs. Christopher Avilla. Oh, right? Isn't that how it goes? Mrs. Nicole Avilla.
You're right.
That's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's right there.
Yep.
Tons of social stuff has been going on.
Who are you?
Oh, I am CJ Avilla. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me.
Yep.
You are drinking a bubbly drink.
I am.
It's a little milky looking.
Yeah.
It's in a glass restaurant cup.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about this.
Well, once
elixir.
again, it's a little bit late on a Sunday evening as we're recording, and every night before bed I drink magnesium. Mm-hmm. You can take this in many different forms, but I choose to buy it in a tasty raspberry flavored powdered form. And you just add it to either hot or cold water, and I drink it before bed, and it's just a good way to help you relax. It also has a ton of health benefits. So I notice a huge difference in how I'm feeling when I don't take it. So take it every night before bed. So that's what I have.
And does it help you calm down?
Yes, that's what it's called. It's called this brand is called Calm.
It is. I've had it, and I don't think it tastes bad.
No, it tastes good.
Yeah, I just sometimes I forget to do it, and it's also like you have to put it in a pretty big glass of water. Is it 8 ounces? Is like a normal?
It's whatever you're comfortable with, really. I can drink a lot in a small amount of water. It always freaks you out because it's so
milky and cloudy.
Yeah. But for me, it really helps with like my sweet tooth. If I want something sugary, and I'm trying to be good, then I will just drink, because this is sweet. Raspberry and lemon flavor. Anyway, drinking magnesium. I notice you have nothing, though.
I know. It's the first time I don't have a drink, but I just chugged a ton of water.
Oh,
so
good for you.
Yeah. At dinner, I had a glass of wine. I haven't had a glass of wine in a long time.
But you drank it so slow. I was like, that must not taste good.
It was really good, but I didn't want... I don't know. I'm trying to wean back or dial back alcohol because it's really bad for you. Mm-hmm. It's super, super bad for you.
It is. You mentioned... earlier, so we talked last week about Twitter. Ooh, we also have to do a shout out.
Oh yeah, Colin, if you haven't already, How You Spend Your Days, go check out Colin's podcast, How You Spend Your Days. He did a little shout out. Mm-hmm. I think after we did, so there is an episode where where I went on with Colin and we talked about finances and family. Mm-hmm. And right after we released the episode, we said, hey, if you can figure out how to contact us, let us reach out, because we didn't have a way for you to contact us. Mm-hmm. And Colin just threw it up on his own podcast. I'm like, oh, that's a nice way to
Instagram
and his podcast.
Oh, and his podcast?
He did. So he's at his 1 year mark.
That's amazing.
So he did a playback and went through and
awesome. So go check it out.
Yeah, How You Spend Your Days. Mm-hmm. That's it's his story of becoming debt free, which is super interesting. Really, really raw, kind of vulnerable stuff that he's sharing. So that was good. We also got who else reached out to us?
Well, my dad called.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
And he was in the middle of listening and wanted to share. I haven't even looked it up yet. I have to do it. But he mentioned. Oh no, how come when you were actually talking about this, the name Dave Ramsey. Okay. Dave Ramsey has a website that'll help you save money on groceries.
Nice.
He described it as you input your zip code and types of food that you like to purchase, and it'll read the weekly circulars for you.
Oh yeah, for the coupons?
Mm-hmm. And then let you know what's on sale.
Nice.
So definitely want to check that out.
Great.
So yes, thank you, Dad, for contacting us. Do we?
Yeah. So now we have ways you can contact us.
Yes.
So we have, and we really want you to tell us that these are working by reaching out. Okay. So please send us a tagline or something that you want us to say, at the beginning or the end of the show. for me, it's really hard to sign off, and I always say bye, friends, and Nicole laughs at me. So maybe send us like some fun sign-offs or something. And you can send those via email to heyhowdyhey@avillatheory.com. That's Avilla Theory.
A like
Theory.
Victor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are also now on Insta. We're on Instagram.
I
Avilla
saw
Theory.
that. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna start posting lots of cool stuff. We did some work at the Red House this weekend, and
do you have your phone?
I don't.
Oh man, I was gonna say we should go live right now. On
Yeah, let's go
Instagram.
live. Yeah. Okay. So we will we'll share with the folks on Insta. Are we gonna have to cut this part out? Oh no! Here, why don't you work on that? I'm gonna tell the story about Twitter.
Okay.
We got suspended. Our account got locked on Twitter.
Ours, like we have one.
We have an Avilla Theory Twitter at Avilla Theory.
Okay.
Is a handle, and it got shut down by Twitter.
That's crazy.
It's
what
super
did we do?
great. I think okay. So they have some automated system that says it looks for spammers. And I hooked up this Twitter account, and all it would do is tweet when we posted a new episode. And I guess we tweeted like twice with links to the episodes, and that's the only tweets that it ever had. Yeah, and so it shut it down.
So we got to post more over there.
Yeah, so I emailed them, and I was like, "Hey, I think this was a mistake," and I think their like automated system again responded and was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, that was automated. We didn't mean to do that."
Got it.
Is this okay? All right.
That's pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
Avilla Theory, sweet, wholesome Avilla Theory got shut down on Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
Good to know, though, that we...
that we're back.
We're on Twitter.
So we're on Twitter, Instagram.
We have a website that you can't comment on, but you can check out the notes from the episode.
Yeah, so
I have to say, I don't know much about Instagram.
Okay, we're going to go live on Instagram, I think. That looks like not live. Is that? All right, we're figuring it out here. So we must be young because we just got carded.
That's how you do it right there.
All right.
Yep.
All right, you want to go? Are we going sideways?
We did both get carded at dinner.
We both got carded at dinner, so we must be young enough to figure out Instagram here.
Okay. It's like that, right? And then you just hold it down.
All right. What's up, Instagram?
Hi.
We are we're recording an episode right now. I don't know why I can't speak. We're already on the mic. So this is the microphone. This is the sweet microphone that we talk into to tell you secrets are secrets.
And today we're going to be talking about what we call the Red House, but short-term rentals.
It's our short-term rental. We're talking about things about that. So the episode will come out tomorrow, Monday. Check it out. Looking forward to it. This filter thing is pretty fun.
All right, getting back to it.
Yeah. Okay. So check us out on Instagram. All right, now let's just now that we've spent like 4 minutes messing around with social media and stuff.
It was fun though.
It was fun. Is there anything else we need to talk about with social? How to get a hold of us? How to find us?
No, we're good.
We're good.
Tell them about the Red House.
Okay, so there we were. It was the summer of 2017. We were visiting my parents and my folks. So I grew up in Kings Beach in North Tahoe, and my folks have a little rental up there that we were visiting as a family, and we were sitting outside having lunch, and the neighbor from across the street came over, and they had seen all the hard work that my dad had put into cleaning up this property and like making it look beautiful. And she asked, "Do you guys want another project?" And we just happened to be sitting there, and Nicole and I, because we like real estate, and I think you were actually like had just gotten your license or something.
I was working on getting it.
Yeah, and so
the neighbor was definitely talking to your parents, not to us.
Yeah, she was for sure talking to the parents, not to us. But we went and we just like walked across the street and walked through this house that they were putting on the market. It started as a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, super, super old house that like the original part of the build was done in the 40s. It's a super small little cabin up in North Lake Tahoe. And we walked through it and we were like, wow, this is so awesome. It looks great. It feels great. It's like livable as is. A lot of the stuff is super, super old and definitely needs to be like update it if we wanted to live in it long term or whatever. But we were really pumped about it, and so we didn't even have a real estate agent. We didn't have.
It hadn't been listed.
It hadn't been listed.
They really wanted to find someone local
Yeah.
to buy it before putting it on the market.
Right. So we did sort of like a backyard handshake deal, and ended up going through the whole purchase process without real estate agents.
Right.
So this was a little unique in that we didn't have...
It wasn't our first purchase, so that helped.
Yeah.
We were a little experienced, and I was working in real estate at the time, and
so you technically couldn't be the agent because it was it was a house in California.
I could never been the agent anyway.
Yeah.
But it helped to have those resources. Is what I'm trying to say. Like we definitely Googled for all the paperwork that we needed and filled that out and sent an offer over to the owners. But we did have a licensed agent just look it over and make sure that we were doing everything correctly.
Yes.
But they accepted it.
They did, yep. We had like a little bit of negotiation, but it was like because we didn't have agents, it was direct. Like we just had a phone call with the owners and kind of worked out our shared our thoughts and what we were looking for, and I think they were more than happy because we paid whatever the sticker price was. We wanted it. We really wanted it. It's across the street from family, like 2 blocks from Lake Tahoe. We barely had enough money to make it work.
Yeah, and you grew up there, so it was very sentimental.
It's super sentimental, yeah.
Dream of yours.
Yeah, so I like rode my bike by this house like growing up. Like my whole life just
basically
kind of like...
we couldn't say no.
Yeah, we couldn't say no.
So we bought it.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about what it looks like to buy like your second home or an investment property?
Yeah.
Like, does it work the same as when you're buying your own primary residence?
So it's a little different. Depending on if it is going to be so if it's a primary home and you're going to live in it, then the bank has like a higher expectation that you're going to pay on time, because the chances of you like making or like defaulting on your loan when it's your primary residence is much lower than if you like ran into financial troubles and we're just like, okay, screw the second home. We don't even go up there anymore. Let's just like get rid of it.
You need a house over your
exactly.
You need to live somewhere, so you're not going to default on your primary.
Yeah, so your primary home, like they generally trust that you're going to like pay that back. Second home and investment properties, there's not as high of confidence that the borrower is going to pay back the loan. Okay. And so the terms are generally a little bit stricter. So with a primary, you can get like you usually have to put down less money up front, and you can get a much better interest rate. When it's a second home or investment property, you generally have to put down more money, and your interest rate is automatically like 1% or 2% higher than a primary. So
it's like they want you to have a little more skin in the game.
Exactly. Yeah. So when it's a second home, and I think all these are going to be dependent on the lender. Like the lender is going to kind of like make up the rules around what those minimums are. But this like roughly the amounts that we had to spend. So we have done all 3 types. We have done a primary purchase, we've done an investment property purchase, and we've done a second home purchase. The one that we did in Kings Beach, we did it as a second home. And we can go into some of the differences between second home and investment property. But when it's an investment property, you generally have to put like 20% or more down.
That's a lot.
It's a ton, yeah. And that's like usually, that's if it's not a jumbo loan, it's under $420K. And yeah, so 20%, big chunk of change.
Yeah.
And usually the percentage for the interest rate, for if you're doing like a 30-year fix or something, is like 2% higher than if you were getting a primary.
Okay.
I think that's like how ours shook out when we did the investment property. With a second home, you have to put in our case, we had to put like 10% down. And then we had to pay like about a 1% higher interest rate for the second home.
Okay.
Yeah. So the ways that, so if you go to a real estate agent and to a mortgage broker and or a lender and also to the IRS, and ask them what a second home is, they'll probably all tell you different things, because they all have different rules and regulations. So when you go to buy a second home, obviously the lender's going to have the rules that you need to meet for the second home. But when you go to do your taxes, the IRS has like much more strict rules about what it means to be a second home, and so you'd obviously like have to consult like a tax lawyer or something to like make sure that your situation matches this. But roughly the idea is something like you use the house at least 15 days or 14 days each year, and you use it at least 10% of the days that you're like renting it out.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you were renting the house out for 20 days in a year, you'd need to personally use it for at least 20 of those days. So 200 days a year is rented, 20 days a year you're using it. That's like the 10% rule. And then if you're not using it that much, then it would be considered an investment property. The difference is that when you go to the IRS, if it's a second home, then you can deduct the mortgage interest that you have paid on the second home, the same way that you can deduct mortgage interest on a primary home. So when you go to do your taxes, if it's a second home or if it's a primary home, you can deduct the mortgage interest that you're paying. So that's deductible. Mm-hmm. But if it's a rental property, so if it's an investment property, then you can do this thing called depreciation. And you would want to go and look up all the benefits to depreciation, but basically you can like pay down in the future the losses that you are experiencing like in that year. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Okay. Something like that. Go talk to a tax person. If you are in Northern Nevada, if you're in Reno and you are interested in a recommendation for a tax person, we have someone that we really like working with, so we would love to refer you. Please just like reach out, and then we haven't like cleared it with them to see if it's cool, but let us know, and we'd love to connect you.
Okay, so now you've found a house that you want to buy. You've decided whether or not it's going to be your second home or your investment property. Mm-hmm. Should we then talk about how you would decide if it's going to be a short-term rental, or if you're going to try to put someone in there long-term, or if you're just going to keep it vacant and you're just going to use it? Yeah,
let's talk about that. So when we got it, it was livable, but it hadn't been updated in probably like definitely 20, maybe 30, maybe 40 years.
Right.
It had been like the home had been updated multiple times, because when we pulled the floor up, we pulled up like 7 layers or 8 different layers of flooring. So we know the home had been updated a bunch of times, but it hadn't been updated recently. Like no way was there any updates done like super recently. Yeah. But that said, like it was still definitely livable. Like the people, the former owners lived there
on occasion,
yeah. Or they lived there for like periods, like a year or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely something that you could live in. And so we had to make the decision, and we had like lots of long discussions.
What?
Yeah, of do we want to remodel it right now and then rent it out long term? Mm-hmm. Do we want to do nothing right now and rent it out long term? Do we want to remodel it and rent it out short term? Or do we want to not remodel it and rent it out short term? And so I think for every situation, this is going to be a little unique. And here are a couple factors that went into it for us. One of the main reasons why we went with short term was that we could still use it when it wasn't booked. Like, if you have an Airbnb or if you have a short-term rental property, you are able to go and stay in that property whenever it's not booked, or you can block it for yourself to go up and stay. Mm-hmm. So this summer, you went up for 10 days, and that was...
I mean, can you imagine you finally get to buy a home in the place that you've been dreaming about buying a home for years, and then you put somebody in it long-term and you can't even use it yourself? Yeah. Like, we were wrestling with that decision.
Right.
And it was so hard.
It was super hard. And, like, the other part of that is that when you have someone long-term in there, you have, like... As long as they're good renters and whatever, which we have run into some bad ones, but if they're good tenants, then that is a steady guaranteed income to offset the
and
mortgage
it gives
payments
you
and
a
whatever.
chance to pay down your loan, save up a decent amount of money to put into the remodel. Like financially, it made a lot of sense, and that's why we were having such a hard time deciding to go the short-term route. But ultimately, we really wanted to get in there. Yeah,
there's also a lot of risk with the short-term route, because if you don't have good marketing and you don't have great like photos and an attractive listing for potential guests to find on Airbnb or HomeAway or Booking.com or any of these travel sites, then you run the risk of having months at a time when no one is booking it, and you're just paying all the utilities, all the taxes and insurance and the mortgage and all of that, all the expenses that are related to owning the home without having any income to offset that. And so that is definitely a real and painful reality and risk with short-term rental.
The nice thing is that you could just, if that's not working, switch it over.
Yeah, exactly. When you, So this is not in stone, and you can switch back and forth.
Also, something to remember if you're going to do short-term is that you have to furnish it.
Yeah.
So that is another expense. Even if we had done nothing to it, we left it as is, which I don't think we could have short-term rented it as is. But let's say we did, we would have needed to buy some appliances, maybe, definitely a couch, a bed, linens. But like, there's still a lot of cost involved in the short term.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
It's definitely,
even if you're remodeling, like, keep in mind that once it's remodeled, there needs to be a budget for all of those things, because to be a good short-term rental, you need to be able to provide awesome amenities.
Yep.
You need a fully stocked kitchen, comfortable linens.
This is how we run our short-term rentals as luxury short-term rentals.
Right, because we want to get someone in there every single day of the month if we can. And
we want to provide them a rock star experience. We had a guest 2 or 3 stays ago who said, it was like, this is like totally bragging, but the guest's review on Airbnb says it was like staying in an HGTV remodeled home.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what we were going for.
Yeah. So
a real Chip and Joanna.
We chose the route of remodeling right away and turning it into a short-term rental.
Yes. So the remodel, the way that the remodel worked was kind of insane. It was kind of a ton of work. We, as soon as it closed, like
it was not kind of a ton of work.
It was a ton of work.
So much work.
We're not going to go into all the details.
Right.
But we purchased the home, and like the very next weekend, we were there demoing it, and we tore it down. Yeah, we ripped the entire thing down to very, very little left of what was previously there, to a shell of its older self, including going from a 3-bedroom to a 2-bedroom.
Right.
We removed a bedroom to open up and make the floor plan a little bit more open, and the kitchen used to be like a 1-person or a half-person size, where if you wanted to open the fridge, you had to leave the kitchen and reach into the kitchen with a stretch arm, and open the fridge. And so we completely moved. We moved a bunch of stuff around and kind of fit it to our needs. And that took 9 months. It was 9 months or so of every single waking moment, every weekend, every moment that we weren't working our jobs full time, we were up there busting our butts trying to get it flipped over and turned over. And
and everything they say about how remodeling will totally test your marriage or show you how strong your relationship is totally true. There are so many decisions to be made. And on top of that, we had 2 little kids.
Yeah, our babies were.
And we were doing most of the work ourselves or within the family. And it got to the point where it was so cold up there, so much snow on the ground. And what are the kids going to do? They're just running around being little babies. They needed naps still. Where could they take a nap? There was always hammering or whatever. So I got to the point where I stayed home with the kids, and CJ would leave first thing Saturday morning, come home really late, then do it again on Sunday. And it was rough.
It was, but the result was that we remodeled this home, not as if we were going to use it as a short-term rental, but as if it was going to be our family vacation home for 50 years or more. Like, we put in the nicest, most top-of-the-line, shiniest, fanciest, HGTViest like amenities and appliances and fixtures and furnishings.
Not the nicest, but we went for very nice quality.
When I say the nicest, it's the nicest that I was willing to go.
Yeah, totally.
And
well, we kept like falling back on durability. We're like, if there's going to be a lot of people in here.
Yeah, well, durability, but I was like trying to push back on cost too, because it ended up costing us
a lot.
A very, very, very large sum of money, because we took that approach of like, we want to make this our family home, 50-year family home. If we were to do it again and it was going to be a short-term rental that we weren't going to use,
that we weren't going to use?
No, I'm sorry, that wasn't going to be like a family home. It was like a short-term rental property that is like an investment property. We may use it sometimes, but it's not like going to be like
I can
our
see that.
legacy.
There was a lot of emotion tied to some of these purchases.
Yeah.
Where, I completely agree with you.
I think that we could have cut the cost of remodeling it in half, or maybe even less than half. Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's no way we would have put that bamboo floor in, beautiful granite countertops. Come on. Like, yeah, definitely.
Oh, interesting. But would we still have the reviews that we have?
Yeah, I think we would. But we wouldn't, I don't think it would last as long, and it wouldn't be as nice. Like, you can still provide like a 5-star experience and 5-star service without having 17-star
I don't
amenities.
think so, because I would think that there are some things people are willing to overlook if something's not perfect, because they can tell that it's such high quality.
Maybe.
That they're like, well, even though that one thing wasn't at my standards, look at this gorgeous granite countertop and these beautiful floors.
Maybe.
I would, if I were like that last place we stayed.
Oh, yeah.
I might have like overlooked the dirty fingerprints on the door.
Okay, so
if other things had been nice.
Obviously, I would have had. I'm saying we're going above that place, but we don't have to hit a Tasadero level HGTV.
Remind me.
Oh, whatever. We stayed. Okay, so we.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Now.
So like 3 years ago in January, we took a big family road trip. I was working remote, and so we were able to like drive on the weekends between cities. And so we went down the California coast. We started in Santa Cruz and made our way down to LA, and we stayed like for a few days in each place. And when we stayed at this beautiful Airbnb in Tasadero, that was so nice. And we were, I think at that point I was like, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun remodel. So yeah, we really enjoy, I personally enjoy the working with my hands and the difference, the stark contrast between that and my day job. Like, my day job is sitting at a computer, typing away, type. But when I'm able to build things and rake pine needles.
Yeah. So are we going to do a separate episode on how to run a successful short-term
Yeah,
rental?
we'll do a separate episode that is like tips and tricks and our advice for successfully being a Airbnb host.
Got it. Should we mention at all the investment property we once purchased?
We're going to let's do a whole nother series and tell that story separately.
Okay.
Because
it was just about our short-term rental.
Yeah, that one, I might need a beer for that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the short-term rental has worked out really, really well, knock on wood. We've had a really good experience with it. Long-term rental, not so much. So we'll share. Actually, we've done long-term twice now. So we'll share our experience with that. But
oh yeah, one of them went well. The other one did not go well.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? I'm sitting here talking to you about all these lovely real estate things, and there's this notepad here with things that say postpartum depression.
Yeah, this is
meal planning. Something birth control, tampons and pads, body confidence. Oh, I'm not going to say that one.
These are the topics.
What are these?
This is
sitting on your desk.
This is okay. So I was just taking notes about things that you're going to talk about on your series. Or is it going to be like a women's health series or?
I haven't decided.
No? Is it just
I also haven't decided if we would just do it here.
Women supporting women? Woman supporting women. Oh, what about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Nicole has like a side hustle on top of Avilla Theory that maybe one day we'll share with you. But if you are coming here from 1000 Days, thank you for coming over. I shut down that other...
You did.
I shut it down, yeah. The last episode was posted recently. Yeah, so thank you for coming over and listening.
Maybe it should be a blog instead.
Maybe. There are a few things about podcasting that are surprisingly difficult. Mm-hmm. Number one being consistency. Right. And I think even the two of us working together, I don't
know how that is difficult for you. You're the one that's always like, it's Sunday, we have to post by Monday.
So consistency is tough, but also like monologuing. So that other podcast was just me monologuing and my imposter syndrome of like, am I saying interesting things right now? Or is this... Yeah, so that one, I shut it down because I think this is way better. I think you should
still keep track of the 1000 Days because I wonder if it's this.
Oh, it could be. It totally could be. So the premise of the other show was that it takes about 1,000 days for a side project to generate enough income to replace your salary. So yeah, this is...
On our Instagram?
Yes.
You can check out what we did yesterday at the Red House.
You can, yeah. Oh yeah, we have like a fun little video of the work that we did. That was actually... What did you think about the speaker? So it was good, yeah. Okay, so we got a Bluetooth speaker that is like waterproof and stuff, so that we can listen to music while we're out in the yard.
Yeah, it worked out really nicely.
Yeah, maybe we can put a link to that in the show notes. Okay.
I'm all over it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think. Should we move on to this next topic here? Postpartum depression. No.
Not this time.
Future episode.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Do you have any trivia for me today?
Oh, yes, I do. We just passed the Halloween. It's not trivia. Okay. So we just passed the Halloween date.
Yes.
So I have a little joke for you.
Oh, I have something for that too. Go ahead.
Who does a witch...
I knew it. Go ahead.
Who does a witch share an apartment with?
I don't know. Who?
Her broommates.
Oh, that's a knee slapper for sure. I thought we should also update on the Switch Witch.
Oh, great idea.
We did.
Yeah.
In our Halloween episode, we talked about alternatives to eating all of the candy. And one of them was to do the Switch Witch. And the Switch Witch is, I believe, a book about a witch who needs to heat her house by basically lighting candy on fire or something to that effect. She needs candy to keep her house warm, basically.
By lighting it on fire.
So that's what I told the kids. So she likes to collect candy, and as a thanks, she will give you something in return, like a toy. So we told the kids this, and they were on board. They absolutely wanted to collect candy and do that. So we went trick-or-treating and got a ton of candy. Oh my gosh. And then we left it out, and Grayson even wrote a note. And then she brought them some toys, and the next morning they were so happy about the toys that they received, and they have not asked for their candy at all.
I know we've done really well at not eating candy.
Huge
I'm
success.
Surprised. Mm-hmm. So, and also there was a fun fact about the Switch Witch book.
Yes, so I haven't looked it up and done the research myself.
I don't actually know if this is the person.
Yeah, because I think there might be multiples.
Okay.
Because I also saw one that was it was called the original Switch Witch, the OG.
The OG Switch Witch.
But anyway, Grayson went and told his teacher, and his teacher talked to me, and she was like, did you know that the lady that wrote that book, so I don't know if there's more than one, there may be, she sent her kids to the same school that our kids go to. So she's a local, and she actually came in and read the book to the kids a few years back, and I just thought that was so cool that this thing I'd found on the internet has some local connections.
Yeah.
So that was really awesome.
Very cool.
The other thing I wanted to mention, in an effort to save money every month, we talked about
budgeting.
our grocery budgeting earlier, CJ has decided to take on cutting the kids' hair.
Oh, yeah.
So about once a month, Grayson's hair grows really, really fast. About once a month, I take him to some local shop. And between the two kids and tip, it costs about $30, which I felt like was fairly affordable compared to the last place we had been going to. But CJ was like, I can totally do that. And so I said, go for it. And so he did it today for the first time. And it went great. High five.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I think that the haircuts look great.
Okay. I was a little worried because I cut Logan's a little short.
I know,
and
it's
I
okay.
cut Grayson's a little crooked.
For first try, I'm impressed.
Okay. I did do like a whole high top fade. High and tight.
Yeah, it's not just like buzz cut.
No, it's pretty crisp.
It looks nice.
Grayson's is really crisp. It's just not lined up in the back.
Yeah, I think his hair is a little bit more forgiving, but
It
Logan's...
is. Logan's is so fine. He might still need to go to a professional.
That's all right.
We'll see.
Anyway, it was great. It doesn't save us money at first because we had to buy a couple of tools, but if we stick with it,
Yeah.
in the long run, it'll definitely save us quite a bit of money.
Oh, yeah. I found this like awesome set of hair clippers.
And you had a cape for them too?
I know,
It was awesome.
I did. Yeah, I had
We'll
like the
definitely have
full-on
to
like barber
link all of
thing.
that.
I don't know. Cutting hair is kind of fun.
Also, I noticed you like ripped the cord out and it still worked.
It's okay. This clipper in particular is great for kids because when you have the cord and you're like kind of going around the kid in a circle or you're spinning them in the chair, it just like wraps around their neck like 7 times.
No wonder the chair spins at the hairdresser. Okay.
But this, I found this really awesome clipper set that's super highly rated. Did tons of research about it, and it is a clipper that is either corded or cordless. So it has like a pretty good charge.
Awesome. And there was one tool we didn't have that you thought maybe.
Yeah. So I need to look into those. The like, the very close to skin buzzer trimmer thing. I don't know.
But we'll link that to you.
Yeah, we will.
Once you find one you like. And how did you prepare for cutting the kids' hair?
Well, okay. So I did watch a couple of YouTube videos, but I have had my hair cut probably, I don't know, hundreds of times.
In the amount of time that we've been dating or married, you've gotten your hair professionally cut like 3 times.
Yes.
So how do you have
before you knew me, and before I was a broke college student who picked up the habit of cutting my own hair, my parents used to pay a barber to cut my... Actually, no. I mean, I do remember going a lot to get my hair cut.
I think what happened
but
is
my
you got
dad
the girl
cut my
and you were like, whatever.
I got the girl? Oh, yeah. And then I was like, I don't need to cut my hair. Yeah. Well, it was partly because of the military. Like, as soon as I joined the military and I was just, like, buzzing my head, it's just too easy and free. And so I just buzzed my own head. Yeah, Dad would bring me to the barber. But also, Dad, when I was growing up, he would cut, like, spirals around.
No.
Yeah.
Like designs?
Yeah, designs, crosses, X's. One day, I remember, it was, like... in the summer or whatever, and I would be going to soccer practice, and one side of my hair would be cut, and the other side would be there. Oh yeah, it was. I don't know, it was fun thing growing up. I do remember that the set of clippers that he used eventually like stopped working well and would just rip my hair out. So I think that's when he stopped cutting my hair. And I would just go to like Sport Clips or something. But with this episode is running a little bit long, but I wanted to. We can save it for another time. Okay. I have a fun story about haircuts, but until another day.
All right.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming and sharing some time with us and visiting with us and hanging out and
let us know you're here.
Yeah, let us know you're here. Hey howdy hey at avillatheory.com, or just hit us up on Instagram at Avilla Theory, or on Twitter at Avilla Theory, or we have a YouTube channel this automatically gets syndicated to. I don't know where that is. You have to go find it.
Yeah.
But if you like our time lapse of the work we did this weekend at the Red House, give that a big old heart on Insta.
All right, friends.
All right.
This rambler over here.
All right, bye, homies.